Hi, I'm Lori and welcome to the Icing Artist. Today we're going to be doing an engagement cake. My brother just got engaged and I'm so excited to make this cake for him. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I hope he enjoys it too.
So to make the box, I'm actually just using a light bulb box that I had. I wrapped it in saran wrap and now I'm just using some extra fondant that I had laying around from an old cake. I rolled it out and I'm wrapping this around the light bulb box. You're not going to see this part of it. You'll wrap that tightly and then trim it to size. Now this is a spacer that's going to sit on top. That's just going to come out afterwards. So I'm just dusting it with some icing sugar so that way it doesn't stick to my black fondant when I wrap that around. You can just roll out some black fondant and cut out a long strip. Use a little bit of water just on the bottom part. You do not want to put it on the top part so we can take that out. And then just wrap your black fondant around it. For the lid, I've cut out a black square and then a black long strip. And I'm just using a little bit of water and tightly wrapping that around the square. Just use your fingers to help push in the edges. We're going to trim that to size, and then you really just want to make sure it's nice and smooth and has a nice seal around it. Let that set overnight. Now, after your box has set for a few days to really make sure it keeps its shape, you can take out that spacer. And now we're going to cut the pillow out of just some white fondant that's going to sit on top. Just use a little bit of paper towel to help hold the pillow up into place so that way it doesn't kind of cave in on you. And then you're just ready to put some of the details on your box. So I've just cut out some white strips. And I'm just going to wrap these around my box on each of the edges, using a little bit of water to help stick it into place. And then just trimming it to size. And I'm going to do the same thing with my lid. When you're doing the lid, make sure you leave a little bit of extra fondant on each edge of the box, so when you turn it over, you can just wrap it around like this. Now for the bow, cut one of the strips in half, fold over the edge, and then pinch it together. You want to do that with both edges, and then put another strip across the center, pinching both ends as well, so that it gives a little bit of a ruffled effect, and wrap that around the bottom. Put that on the top of your box, and then just use a little bit of paper towel to help prop the bow up, and you're going to want that to let set overnight as well. When you take out the paper towel, your bow is going to be nice and 3D and held up into shape. For the ring, I'm going to roll out some thick white fondant, cut out a circle, and then with a smaller circle cutter, you want to cut out the center of that, and then just dust it with some silver luster dust. I'm just using some edible gems that I got at a cake decorating store. You can probably get these online as well. Using a little bit of water and just setting them into place. These are really beautiful and really easy to work with. Now I'm just going to cut out a slot in my pillow so that way my ring can sit into it. Very carefully set your ring into place. It's easier to do this while your ring is wet. If you do it when it's dry, the ring might be a little bit too delicate. And then you just want to push that into place. Now I've already covered my cake in fondant. If you'd like to see how I cover a cake in fondant step by step, I will be putting a link to that in my description below. And I've just rolled out some black fondant and cut out a long strip, and this is going to be the border that's going to wrap around the bottom edge of my cake. And you just really want to wrap that around and then push it in and make sure it's nice and smooth. Now I'm just using a small flower cutter and I'm just pressing in, and I'm going to do that going around my border, and that's just going to add a really nice detail. We're going to carve some lines in it, and it's really going to bring out the border. I'm just using a knife and just drawing a line in between each of the flowers. And then with the center of the knife, I'm really just poking in all over the place, all over the center of the flower. And that's just going to make the centers and make a little bit extra detail and make them look nice. And then carve the lines that are going to go on the details of the petals, and then the rest of the vines that are going to go around the cake. I really love the way that this looked. I thought that it looked very elegant and very subtle. It really added an extra detail to the cake. And now you're ready to put the rest of your decorations on. So I'm just going to place my ring box on top and take out the paper towel. You don't really want that anymore. And then just put the lid kind of on an angle so that way you can see both sides of the lid.
I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video this week, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can see next week's video and the one after that, so you don't miss a video. And I'll see you next week. Bye!